two of the most devastating hip-hop groups and best live hip-hop groups of all time are Public Enemy and Cypress Hill. We've got their MCs in our group. The rhythm section, Engine Room of Timmy C and Brad Wilk is, in my view, the best rhythm section since Led Zeppelin's. And then I do my best to make barnyard animal noises and steal a few Black Sabbath riffs. You sew that all together. And with DJ Lord, who's the turntablist of Public Enemy, he's a world-class musician in his own right. He's in the band as well. So it's a blast that we've been having. It really feels like the earliest days of Rage Against the Machine with a common purpose, a mission, and playing great music that's connecting with an audience. One more important thing about this Prophets of Rage tour, one of the things that we've been raging against for decades now is economic inequality. We didn't want there to be a financial barrier to coming to the shows. So there's a base $20 ticket price. There's a starting price of $20 at every show. It's the lowest ticket price this summer at any of the venues that we're playing, and half the ticket price the last time Rage Against the Machine toured in 1999. So we wanted there to be no economic barrier, and also a portion of the proceeds from every show go to local homeless shelters and food banks in each city where we play.
How do you, when you're trying to do a revolution, live in a corporate world? So you guys play things like the Verizon Mega Center or whatever they're called.
The Dunkin' Donuts Arena, wherever those things are printed. I mean, I look at it this way. Like I grew up in a small town in Illinois. I bought my records at a chain music store, and my favorite band, The Clash, that changed my life and helped politicize me, and any bit of politicization that I've passed on to another generation came from The Clash. They're on Epic Records, just like Rage Against the Machine. You know, it's like we don't live in a narco-syndicalist utopia. We live in a capitalist society. People buy their books, but I buy my Noam Chomsky books at Barnes & Noble because that's where they sell books. You know, that's the give them enough rope so one day we get to hang them.
Okay, that's Rage. Okay.
But I'll say that, you know, it is not a position that is not. It's open to criticism. There are other ways to do things, and there are some people who are more pure and they sell singles out of the back of pickup trucks that are fueled by hemp. There's nothing wrong with that point of view. We've decided that we wanted to, from day one, we wanted to have a message that was a global message that was heard by people around the globe.
But you know, it's funny, Cypress Hill has that line out of the Bible in their biggest hit.
Insane in the Membrane?
Not Insane in the Membrane, but in that same album. Okay. And so that was a kind of a gateway drug for me in that I was like, oh, right, it does say in the Bible that you're allowed to use all the herbs and and plants of. Now, I didn't do drugs actually until decades later, but that planted a seed, if you will, in my head. Like
maybe there was sort of a biblical underpinning to.
And so for you, you're saying it was The Clash. Now, you come from a literal revolutionary family. You're half Kenyan, so obviously you weren't born here. That's what I hear from.
I was born in the U.S.
No, I'm kidding.
So I was, Well, if I were to run for office, there would be a lot of scrutiny.
No, you were born in Harlem and hence not in America, obviously, according to conservatives. And so your dad was a participant in the Mau Mau uprising?
My great uncle was Jomo Kenyatta, who was Kenya's first president and was the leader of the anti-colonial movement in Kenya that ousted the British. My father and the other members of my family were involved in that movement as well. My parents met in Kenya. My mom's a Irish-Italian lady from a coal mining town in central Illinois, who found herself there and basically went native, you know, during the uprising, and met my dad, and here I am on your show.
Okay. And so did that influence you at all?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that I grew up with my single mom in a suburb of Chicago, but the politics of my home stood in stark contrast to the politics of the archly conservative community in which I grew up in, where the Lake County, Illinois, Democrats don't even run. I mean, it's the deep north. You know, in a way.
That's a funny way of putting it.
But the politics, you know, there were photographs of Che Guevara and Kwame Nkrumah on the walls of my home, you know, and there were photographs of Richard Nixon on the walls of every other home in the block, which I didn't realize till I got to high school and realized that my worldview was dramatically different.